This is the second block Bytes video of a lateral in-plane approach to the popliteal sciatic nerve. Previously, I illustrated the in-plane approach with an up-down pattern of orientation of the common perineal nerve and tibial nerve at the sciatic bifurcation. Here we have the second pattern, the side-by-side orientation. Once again, an out-of-plane approach would work well to enter the safe zone of the bifurcation, but if we choose an in-plane approach, the needle should now be inserted from the edge of the probe at the posterior aspect of the thigh and not from the lateral aspect of the thigh. Note that the safe zones and nerves have been positioned off to the right side of the screen rather than the center. This is an important detail as it allows us to take a trajectory that will both avoid the common perineal nerve and not risk hitting the tibial nerve. If we had put the target zone in the center of the screen, we would have had to use a shallower trajectory that, while it avoids the common perineal, points the tip more directly at the tibial nerve, risking injury. The needle is carefully advanced in the planned trajectory over common perineal nerve to pierce the paraneural fascial sheath. Note the multiple layers of fascia. Small lifting motions at the tip can reveal its exact position with regard to the fascial layers. Elastic recoil shows entry into the sheath and is confirmed with hydrolocation. Good spread outlining the tibial nerve is seen. The needle is obscuring the common perineal, so we next scan away from the needle to see if there's spread around it. Unfortunately, it seems limited to the tibial nerve compartment. We can confirm this by scanning proximally where the nerves are coming together. As we inject more volume here, we still only see the tibial nerve compartment expanding and nothing around the common perineal nerve. It is reasonable to inject half of the intended volume during this process as it will take care of the tibial nerve, but we now have to deal with the common perineal nerve. The first and logical thing to do is to withdraw the needle towards the common perineal nerve and see if we can bring the tip into its sheath. As we inject here, again, scan away from the needle to see the nerve and assess spread more clearly. Unfortunately, it doesn't look right even with repositioning the tip. We're not getting a nice outline of the nerve. It is important to recognize the lack of optimal spread and when something isn't working. So here we instead withdraw the needle and make a new approach on a steeper trajectory towards the near side or lateral aspect of the nerve. Hydrolocation confirms needle tip placement now within the common perineal nerve compartment, and the remainder of the volume can be injected here. Here is one more example of the side-by-side pattern of nerve orientation. Note again that we have positioned the nerves close to the side of the screen from which the needle is approaching, so that the trajectory avoids direct contact with both nerves. Elastic recoil signals that we have penetrated the first layers of the sheath, but it's not quite deep enough, so we carefully advance one more layer. This produces good spread, again outlining the common perineal nerve. Although it looks like spread is limited to the common perineal, and there is a visible dividing septum, it is always worth scanning along the length of the nerve to more thoroughly assess the spread. When we do this, we can see that there is some spread around the tibial nerve. Nevertheless, in this case, because there is such a clear dividing septum and because the needle trajectory allows it, It is worth just piercing the dividing fascia and injecting directly into the tibial nerve compartment. The most important message here is to be versatile. Invest the time and effort to assess what is happening, learn to recognize the patterns, and react appropriately. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the other videos in this channel for more tips and tricks.